This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's keep it moving here. Let's talk about what we're doing next. As we mentioned, they're in Southwest. They're going to reform a new tag team in the Memphis territory. This time it's Jonathan Boyd and Rip Morgan, who's the nephew to Butch. And they're going to team as the Kiwi Sheephearders, trading wins with the Fabulous Ones. But let's talk about the originals. Luke and Butch return to the mainland USA for Bill Watts UWF, and they defeat Ted DiBiase and Dr. Death Steve Williams for the UWF Tag Team Championships in March of '86. But ultimately they lose to the Fantastics on March 30th. But they continue to work for the UWF. But when you're bringing, talent in like this and you're putting them over two of your top stars, DiBiase and Doc, Bill Watts was a believer in the Sheephearders. Fair to say?
Absolutely. And they were, again, Bill used to, Luke and Butch aren't small guys. And it's funny, whenever I talk about, these guys were little, sometimes in my head, I compare it to early 1980s WWE, where it was land of the giants in a lot of respects. But even in the South, in Texas, and for Bill Watts, Bill was a big man territory. Big guys got over there. And the Sheephearders were not really big guys, but they had intensity and they were believable. So everything that the Sheephearders did, you believed it. And there was a difference when a heel would walk to the ring and someone would get in their face and boo them and jeer them, and there would be no fear. When Luke and Butch came to the ring, you didn't get in their face because you genuinely feared them. And they had an air about them that just told you that, hey, we're serious about what we do and we're not all there. That was the beauty of it all.
Isn't it fascinating too, when you said, boy, when Luke and Butch went to the ring, you didn't try to get in their face. And then of course we grew up with them, guys my age, listen to this. And they looked for kids to get in their face. And it's a totally different presentation.
And I'll get to that explanation too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, they do the big Mid-South Superdome show. The Sheephearders are going to clash with the Fantastics one more time. This time, Williams and Miller lost in a New Zealand boot camp match to the UWF Tag Champs. These Superdome shows, I don't know that we've talked a lot about, but this is really one of the first super shows in wrestling, right?
Yeah, it was a co-promotion with Jim Crockett, where brought in talent from the Crockett promotion, brought in Baba and Tiger Mask, I believe, from Japan, and just different guys from different territories. I know that Memphis was represented with some of their guys, and it was a big, it was a weekend show. You had the semifinals on Saturday and the finals on Sunday, 2-day event, big dome show, and it was quite the extravaganza. I think it was a nightmare to put together, and I think there's a reason that they only did one or two of these things.
I mean, these guys are essentially in this era. We've already covered some of their stomping grounds so far and just their path. They're territory guys. Are they more of an attraction? I feel like some guys we would see as almost like homesteaders. They may go out here and there, but really they always wind up back home in whatever territory. But right after the UWF, they're back to Puerto Rico. Then they go back to Memphis. Then they go to New Japan, then back to Puerto Rico. They're all over the place, including even having some matches with Crockett on one of the Bash shows. These guys are legitimate attractions worldwide.
They were, and the problem is that you couldn't sustain it in a territory. There's only so much blood and guts you can get, and
right.
They were the type of an attraction that you could tire quickly with them. Get them in, get them out.
But as far as these guys really liked sort of living on the road, right?
They loved it, and they definitely loved the island, Puerto Rico, and Luke especially, and as Luke lived there for a long time afterwards, after the Bushwhackers kind of went their separate ways and everything. But they, Yeah, they did. They love travel.
Let's talk a little bit about what they're going to discover here while they're working for Don Owens. They start a bit of a year-long feud with Roddy Piper and Rick Martel. Talk about the talent there. And this is where their name is officially changed to the New Zealand Sheephearders. You just told us that once upon a time, the Bushwhackers knew a lot about the old chocolate cake, as Jim Ross used to call it. But boy, running around with Roddy,
is chocolate cake.
the Fernham Snavets. He said once upon a time that was Bobby. Yes, you didn't say it earlier.
Okay.
I thought you were trying to be not
chocolate cake either.
It was a code word for him and Bobby Heenan. Heenan would say, "Hey, do you still have any of that chocolate cake left up in your room?" And then that would be their way to excuse themselves in a public setting and go put a shower cap over the smoke detector.
I used to just say, "Hey, you got a joint?"
Things are changing.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper, Sheephearders. You think they had any fun together?
Yeah, I think they did, man. Hot Rod liked to party, or Hot Rod liked to have a good time. I think you got to throw into that group probably at the time that they were there. Buddy Rose, who Paul Pershman was his real name. Good Lord, man. Buddy could party like there was no tomorrow and gave Piper a run for his money. That's for damn sure. But yes, it was a hell of a crew there. And I imagine that would be a place to be and have a hell of a time, make some money, and learn the biz, if you will.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.